Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. My name is Goalie TV, and welcome to the first ever episode of the STiKS Live. Have you unmuted yourself, Landon? Welcome to the first ever episode of the STiKS Live MLG Pro League weekly recap, powered by Scuff Gaming. And I'm here today with my bud, MLG Roster Mania. We're gonna be, actually, I just realized that the music's still playing a little bit. We are gonna be recapping this week's action from the MLG Pro League, and just discussing all the things that happened, the TCM situation, the NV struggling, and some other stuff. And we're also going to touch on what's going on next week in the MLG Pro League. And yeah, I'm going to hop right over to my bud, MLG Roster Mania. How you doing, man?
What's up, guys? How are you guys doing tonight? Honestly, the point, before we even get started, the point of this show to me is to really, like, get involved with the chat. Because I know, like, during the STiKS, it's always kind of hard to, like, see what everyone's typing out and whatnot. But this show, to me, is, like, we're like literally having a conversation with you guys. Like, I want you guys to be super active and whatnot. But regardless, how you guys doing? My name is Landon, MLG Roster Mania, aka Air Landon. I don't know. How are you guys doing tonight? I'm having a really good time. I'm really excited to start this this series, episodes, I guess you could say. You know, to be honest, like, the reason that we're bringing this to you guys is because there's nothing out there like this. In the STiKS, you know, we're trying to branch out into different things. You know, and whatnot. The EU show, it's kind of cool and whatnot. We're just trying to stretch out. And
now this is the third COD show right now. Don't worry. We're still thinking about other esports. But right now this is the third COD show. And I'm ready. I'm psyched. So, Landon, you had the intro question that we always do on every STiKS.
All right. Now, this is for Goalie as well as everyone else in the chat. I have my answer already, so I'm going to go last. I'll let Goalie obviously go because he's the only other person. So, this question. If you could pick 3 current MLG Call of Duty players to be and try to survive in an apocalypse with you, who would it be and why? A zombie apocalypse.
So I'm teaming up with 3 other players for a game of H1Z1, basically.
You are exactly, yeah. You're basically forming a team, an organization, and also pick what organization you're under.
Oh, I don't know why. We have to pick an organization.
Why not?
Okay, well, organization's going to be Optic Gaming because they have the most money.
Okay, that's true. more equipment.
Or can I go under MLG?
No, it's not a team.
It's an organization, though.
Well, okay. Okay.
They're going under Optic Gaming. Going to have if I had to, pro players. I want Sensor.
Okay.
Wait, he's not. He's
if you're trying to shoot things, you know, you might not have.
Wait, he's not in the pro league. Oh, darn it! I just realized that he has no thumbs, so that's not.
Just current MLG players.
Current MLG players.
You could pick Sensor.
No, I don't want Sensor anymore.
All right. Okay.
Because I'm trying to think who could swing an axe.
Tipsy still count.
Tipsy would be a perfect. Dude, this is. I wish you had
given
me this beforehand. Okay, I want Crim6 because he gives no fracs. He will do whatever it needs to be done. I want Aches because he gives no fracs, and I want Apathy.
Apathy? Okay, I like that list. Because I have a couple similar players. For me, I chose Killa. Obvious reasons. You gotta have Killa during a
wait. One sec. Dan in the chat said Sensor because he doesn't eat any of the food.
That's true.
So if we find a cheeseburger stand in the apocalypse and there's cheeseburgers there, he's not eating any of it. It's just for everyone else.
Done. He's not even gonna think about using them. But I chose Killa. We're gonna smoke out the zombies. We're gonna be able to move through different parts of wherever we are. And whatnot. Along with that, I have Apathy. Apathy's big, he's strong, he's nice. He'll probably let me survive if it was between me and him. And as well, I have TP. I like TP. I don't know why. I just would always like to be in a zombie apocalypse with TP.
It's because he's smart.
That's weird. It's true. Maybe it's because he could figure out a way to, like, somehow move us away from the zombies. I don't know. Just so mine is Killa, Apathy, and Teep, and yours was.
I had Crim, Aches, and Apathy.
And I'll be under Optic.
Picked Apathy. We're both under Optic because we have the most money.
I admit, though, Sensor is a very valid pick. I agree. Okay, I'm looking at the chat. Who do we got here? We got a couple people saying Nameless, Clay, and App.
I was thinking about Clayster, honestly, but I decided not to at the end.
That's solid. I admit, that's a solid one. For sure. All right, guys, so we're going to move on from the, you know, different questions. I might actually think of one at the end of the stream as well to end us out with. But First topic: new league, new rosters. All right, so we're going to be talking about kind of the new teams. Might not be new organizations. We do have a new organization.
Yeah, we only have one new organization. We're going to talk about it a little bit later, but we do have some new rosters in the league that a lot of players actually, or a lot of people don't actually know about. Give me a second. I'm going to try and get it on the screen. It's not going to work. Now that I look at what I have to do. But we do have some new rosters. So the Prophecy roster, because Prophecy would normally... Oh, wow, I'm having a lot of issues on my end. But Prophecy would normally have Classic and Mochilla on their roster, or at least that's their champs roster. Both those players are banned from all MLG and UMG online tournaments and events until champs because of the justice situation that happened back in season 1, right at the end of the season. So they're currently playing with Study and Apathy as their 3rd and 4th, and that's the two of the FaZe Red players. So one of the things I actually noticed is Proofy isn't on any of these rosters too. And Censor is also banned because and so 2 of the FaZe Black members are playing in the MLG Pro League, and they're playing under Prophecy. One of the next rosters is Rise Nation. They have a brand new roster. They actually announced it as soon as the old Rise roster lost to champs. It was actually
as soon as it didn't qualify, they're like, "You're done."
It's like you're done. Get out of here. So on the new Rise Nation roster, we have Chino, who was already on the season 1 roster from. It was on the season 1 roster from last year. For Rise, or last season, whatever you want to call it. And then we have Vexed and Perplexed from Stunner, and then Legal from Prophecy. So, or at least...
That's a good team.
Actually, and those were the season 1 teams that I say. Vexed, Perplexed, and Legal were all playing together on Stunner. None of them qualified for champs either. So,
and for Stunner, for champs. Yeah, yes. For champs, yeah. That's what they weren't playing all. Yeah. But that's a good 3. That's a good pair of 3. Fears, I believe, was the only player that was left out from the team from Stunner for champs. Yeah. So I'm not sure. Fear's technically still a free agent as well. You know, I gotta remember these things. Also, yes, another new team, Mr. Rostermania, is Team Elevate, which is Spacely. They actually picked up Slacked. Really good pickup in my opinion. Huddle and Classic, and I believe they're using TJ as a sub.
They're using TJ and Lamagod as a sub.
Lamagod, okay. Llamagod's really good as well. I mean, we all know TJ is really good, but that's a pretty good team. Yeah.
And so you guys know in the chat, Classic is also still the official 4th of the Elevate, because
which is the old MW squad as well. Gotta put that out.
Yes. As soon as TJ announced and changed his gamertag that he was going to be playing with Elevate, I instantly went and DM'd the general manager for Elevate and found out that Classic is still the official 4th. I don't know why TJ would have changed his handle. That doesn't make any sense to me. But
who knows?
That's how it works. And I think he's only played in like 1 or 2 matches with them. I think Lamagod's played the majority of matches.
I think that should be right. Yeah, but the overall actually, we have one more team before we talk about TCM, which is Team Justice. Justice, obviously, completely new team. Went ahead and just got rid of. Well, they couldn't really because obviously of what happened. As well. So Methods, TCM, Octane, and Lawless.
And I do want to know, actually, Sender played I think is their sub. He played with them today.
Yeah, Sender was on Rise. Now he's currently subbing for Team Justice instead of Methods. But you know, to be honest, I know TCM. TCM is an okay player, not the roster TCM, but the player TCM. A fairly good player. Octane's, he's really good. I think he was on DT for a while.
He was on DT. Yeah.
Was he? Okay. And Lawless obviously was unaware. Methods has been on a bunch of different teams. SB,
TCM versus TCM. That's gonna be.
Yeah. I like Team Justice roster. Like looking at them, they don't look very strong. I think they're gonna have some good moments, but I think they're honestly gonna be one of the teams. They're not gonna be in the top 8 in my opinion.
Honestly, I think Justice will probably be one of the better rosters personally.
Really?
Because and I would say the same thing about Elevate, but Justice only has 1 player that's playing at champs, so the majority of the time they can just grind online tournaments.
It's true.
So
it's a good point to point out.
And then
just because they're not normally good players, chemistry plays a big role.
And then 100% once Elevate gets Classic back, I expect them to be one of the top teams in the league too. But if they can find a consistent fourth for now, whether it's Lamagod or TJ, I think that team will be good. They I know they had some issues today. I think they're 1-3 currently in the league, but in my opinion, they should be one of the top teams, especially with all the chemistry that they have coming from Ghost too.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, our last team, which kind of goes into our next topic of what the situation was. We haven't really talked about it on the STiKS officially. Like, I think it happened. Wait, was it?
It happened.
It was after the STiKS.
Yeah.
On Monday.
No, wait, no.
Yeah, it was.
I don't remember. When did it happen? Tuesday? Yeah. When did it happened? Sunday.
Either way, it happened after the STiKS. So we're going to be going over that. You guys probably know what happened, but if not, we're kind of just brief walk over it very carefully and not try to be strange. And yes, we'll be talking about Optic Nation a little bit. We'll be talking about them as well. But the TCM thing, Goalie, would you like to line out what kind of happened with obviously Aware, the previous holder of that Season 2 spot, now in TCM, an EU team, or a European team, if you didn't know what that means, now in Season 2.
Yeah, so basically, I think it was actually Tuesday, MLG announced that TCM, and they announced on the ESR, that TCM was purchasing the league spot from Aware Gaming. We actually don't know how much the transaction was worth. Some people on Twitter were saying 3K, which I don't think the Aware owner would do that, but who knows. So yeah, they purchased the spot from Aware, which completely threw Twitter in an uproar, and it was a weird situation. It's amazing that we finally have a European team coming over to compete in the United States in the MLG Pro League, but there was a lot of lashback on Twitter from both TCM and Aware. But yeah, they're going to be moving over to the East Coast and Philly. Going to be moving to a team house, so we'll see how that goes.
Was it in Philly?
It's in Philly. I think actually, besides Optic, they're the only team that's actually in a team house right now.
I think AR is.
AR is not in their team house.
What about TK?
TK's not in the team house either.
Okay, that's right. There's only one person there. Yeah. So that's gonna be huge. Obviously, team houses really do make. A lot of people say, team houses don't make a big deal. Yes, it does. Connection.
It makes a big difference. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. We saw that with Curse Black back in season 2 and 3 of Ghost. That on hosts, they won every match, but if they had any off-host match, they got wrecked. So. Right.
And obviously, that TCM roster, for those who don't know, is Gunchi, Moose, Shane, and Jerd. King Jerd.
I cannot wait to see Jerd stream.
Yeah, Jerd. Well, we kind of know how Jerd is, but to me, I'm excited to see him. I actually tweeted out King Scumpy meets King Jerd, and everyone just literally just slammed into me. They're like, "Bro, only King Scumpy exists. King Jerd is whatever." But Jerd's a good player. I'm interested to see how these EU players will play consistently against all these top NA teams.
Jerd is an amazing player. Back during the Gfinity Pro League, they actually had one season last year during the Ghost era, and I was watching it because we were gonna cover it on the STiKS, like the old show that was just uploaded straight to YouTube. That Kingdom just talked in his camera for 40 minutes. Frickin', I don't know how we would do it. Kingdom's an absolute legend to be able to stare into his camera and just talk for 40 straight minutes. But I remember watching it. Epsilon was playing on Octane Domination against some team that I think it was called Bang Bang. I know, like Bang
sure,
Bang. But Jerd actually timed out around the 340 minute mark, and after 1 minute into the game, you continue playing. Is the Gfinity rules, the EU rules. Is if someone times out after the 1 minute mark into the half, you just keep playing. And Epsilon was down like 30-40 points. Jerd reconnected with 2 minutes left. He went he got 20 kills in 2 minutes, and they won the game. Yeah.
So just off of that alone, you can imagine this guy's a beast. And it's not just one game. He's a very consistent player. I was watching, I believe it was the EU regionals, championship regionals for them, and I think he dropped like 56 kills on. It was I think it was Detroit Hardpoint, but I think he was like 20 and like 19, and he just went on a tear. Like he ended up being like 50 and 23 or 56 and 20. I don't know the exact score, but he went on like I think he was on like maybe like an 18 kill streak. So he's definitely someone that's going to be interesting to see how he plays versus NA teams. People could argue, he's playing against EU teams. They're not as good, but still, regardless of that, I'm interested to see how they're going to work out. Obviously, like we said, kind of an interesting way that worked out between them and Aware, but
it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they do online, because we get to see how TCM is. Obviously, they're not the #1 European team, but let's see how that changes with them getting practice here in North America before they go and play at Champs.
Yeah, this is going to be huge for them. I mean, they're going to be at all lands. I mean, they're going to be at basically everything. They're going to be playing as an NA team. Technically, they are, but obviously, all of them are from the UK. It's going to be interesting how they get. I know a lot of people were talking about time travel is going to be huge, but they're going to have they have this whole week.
They're going to have 2 weeks to
they're gonna have,
acclimate to our time.
Yeah, they have a long time before they have to even think about doing something like that as well. So like we said, that's the new TCM team as well. I believe what's the next thing we're supposed to talk about?
We were going to go to a commercial break actually before we talk about the next topic. But if you want to keep going, please the people.
I'm gonna go really quick. I think what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about Envy struggling. Is that right?
Yeah, we were gonna talk about Envy and the issues they've had so far in season 1.
Yeah. So currently, if you guys didn't already know, Envy season 2. Yeah, season 2. Currently, Envy is 1-5. I love Envy, but it's online. I always take into consideration it's online. Online in a way reflects how you play, but in some ways, like we said, with the whole Curse Black thing back in season 2 and season 3 in Ghosts. It can play a huge factor, but regardless, if you have a team like Envy, to me they're one of the most frustrating teams to watch because they have really good players, they just can't get it done a lot. But this is early in the season. I'm not hating on Envy. I love the whole Envy team. It's just I don't see them. I don't know what it is. It's just something weird with Envy.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is either. Especially the first 2 days or the first 4 matches they had. They went 1-3 every match, but they didn't stream any of those matches. So we have no clue at all what happened. I think one match was actually streamed because the other team was streaming, but none of the rest of the matches were actually streamed. So we don't know what's going on. We don't know what the problem is with Envy and the. But they they did on the last game. It was Thursday. Sorry, I was looking at the date and I was trying to figure out the last game on Thursday. They actually 3-1 FaZe Red. So, like they've won. I think they've won. Actually, I'm gonna pull up the map results. I think they've won every hard point so far that they've played.
Have they? That's interesting.
Actually, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Is it not?
But well. They have won. Yeah, they've won 3 out of. They've won 3 out of the 5 hard points that they've played, or 3 out of the. 1, 2. They've won 4 out of the 6 hard points. Okay. But yeah, so they I remember watching the Envy and FaZe game, and it was funny because they were like, "We won a match, Mom! We won a damn match!" And it was like, I just don't I don't know what the issue with Envy is right now, and it's really frustrating. Hopefully we get to see a little bit more of them soon. Hopefully Merc continues to stream as he did stream on Thursday. But yeah, Envy's struggling. Not sure why.
Right. If you guys don't know the Envy roster, if you're a little bit behind, it's Merc, Nameless, and not too recently, but a little bit while back, they got Zuma and Saints from Denial. So that's a really good team. To be honest, looking at the trade, I know a lot of people have said Denial got the better end of the trade. Chemistry-wise, I think that Denial definitely has a better team than Envy does.
Definitely, chemistry.
But looking at the trade, Zuma and Saints for Clayster and JCap. JCap, who had not been playing well. Clayster had been playing consistent. And Zuma and Saints, who have been playing insane. Definitely the 2 best players from Denial at the time. But, it's just something with Envy. They had a really hard time with Clay and JCap on their team, as well as Merc and Nameless. That team, to me, looks stacked, and I was super excited to see how they would play out. In the beginning of season 1, didn't work out like we know as well. But we're gonna have to see some stronger things from Envy. Obviously, like we said, 1-5, definitely gonna have to pick it up. But before we say anything else, we're gonna want to head to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. I don't know how long the commercial break is gonna be, but we'll see you guys. 60 seconds. All right, we'll be back in 60 seconds. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Hello, Landon. You were dancing during the
The in-between music is literally hyping me. I just can't stop. I like to dance. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
It was actually kind of entertaining.
Was it? All right. Well, I'm glad I provided you entertainment while we were waiting to come back. I wish you guys could have saw it, but
you guys could have seen it. Oh well, you should have seen him actually pre-stream. It was
I was just, I got it flowing. If we get some good music, you never know
Were you
what
actually
happened.
even listening to the stream music, or were you just dancing?
No, I was listening to the stream music.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't just dance for no reason.
Wow. Okay. Well, we're going to move on to our next topic. We have 2 more topics tonight, and then we are going to be closing out the show. Our next topic, and this is a topic that I mainly brought up because I've been watching pretty much every match. I think there's only 2 matches of the COD League I haven't watched so far. It's just 3 monitors OP. But my question is FaZe Red better with Huke? And I'm going to lay out a little argument. The first night of the MLG Pro League, FaZe played TK and they played Optic Gaming. They won their first match against TK pretty easily, 3-1. They looked amazing. Like, FaZe Red looked absolutely amazing. And they were playing with Huke during this. And then they went to play Optic Gaming with Huke. And they beat Optic Gaming 3-2. Who is...
Yeah, that's the only loss that Optic has faced.
Yeah, it's the only loss that Optic's faced so far in the season. And
what was that? Was that a 3-2?
It was a 3-2. I think it went down to round 5 or 11, or I mean 10 or 11.
Yeah, round
on STiKS S&D, but yeah. So and then they continued as STiKS went back. They are now 2-2. I think they're 2-2, or they're 2-. They're 1-3. Sorry, they're 1-3 since STiKS returned. And my question to the chat and to you, Landon, is there an issue online with STiKS? Did they just play extremely well, everyone, the first night? They beat Optic Gaming. Like, how did they do that with Huke and not their normal starter?
All right. Well, I'm gonna start off with saying, Patrick Price, if you somehow watch this, I don't know if you will. It's possible. I'm disappointed in you, to say the least. You've not been playing well, Patrick. You played fairly well at the last event, but I'm not happy with your overall performance. There we go. To be honest, you got to step it up. It's definitely it's not that we beat Optic and then we go into our next league matches and we just lose, even though we have STiKS on our team. STiKS is a good player. I admit it. Arguably you could say that STiKS is the best player of all time in Call of Duty.
I would 100% agree with you. He's one of the top. He's one of the top 5 players in Call of Duty history.
You could argue Crim6 is better. STiKS has more championships. I hate the argument of saying that this person has more championships, they're better.
Yeah,
but STiKS can step it up. STiKS, like, looking at his overall stats, STiKS definitely proves that. And thank you, Kingdom. I like my Sonics hat. I wear it all the time. Anyway, rest in peace, Seattle Sonics. Anyway, like I said, STiKS needs to pick it up. You don't just go. What was it with Yuki went 2-0 with STiKS? What was it? 1-3.
1-3. Yeah,
1-3. But it's 2 games. I'm not gonna say that speech was honestly probably a little bit long. But regardless, STiKS needs to step it up. Those 3 players obviously played well. They can beat teams like Optic. We've seen them on LAN where they almost beat Optic, and obviously Optic 3-1 them. But every game was super close. So this team can dominate, but STiKS has to step it up, in my opinion. Is STiKS the problem right now? Yes, I think so.
I do want to mention one thing, and because I remember watching this match, but the only match that FaZe has won since STiKS started playing with them again was 3-2, round 11, last map against Prophecy. STiKS Ninja defused for the win. That's the only, and Apathy. I think maybe it wasn't Apathy. I remember watching Apathy stream, but he literally looked at the bomb, and STiKS was hiding in a body defusing the bomb. Like, so, but that's the only.
I love what Bron just put in the chat. I'm sorry, I have to point this out. Vengeance is the best player in COD history. 1 in a million and then dip. I'm sorry, I had to point that. I love that. Sorry.
That is the only match that FaZe has won. Was a round 11 Ninja defuse.
Right, and 9 times out of 10, you're not going to win that. So technically, they could easily be 0-4 with STiKS.
Yes. Yeah. Because if Apathy or whoever it was, I just remember Apathy because I was watching his stream. if whoever it was just pushed out a little bit farther and actually looked at the body and got the red tag, it would have been 6-5 in favor of Prof. So.
Yeah. So, obviously, who's the problem? I don't know.
No.
Not saying he's the problem, but need to work things out.
I think actually their match against Denial went to a round 11 also, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, well, leaps and bounds need to be made. But I want to point out also, speaking of FaZe Red, we also mentioned with Hugh, not with STiKS, they beat Optic. We were talking about, could the dream happen? Could Optic not drop a single game? I don't think that even them going 3-0 in every single series was even brought up. But if it was, that was dumb. But for them to go undefeated in Season 2, obviously stopped on the very first day, losing to FaZe Red. Goes to show that FaZe Red is a team that you don't want to mess with. At least those three players are as a team that you don't want to mess with. They've met on land. It's been very close with the team that they have. It's projected that team is very, very good. And when we see them play well, they can beat teams like Optic. Well, obviously, they haven't beat them yet, but it's gotten very close as well. So, got to point that out. The dream technically kind of gone, but it's a dream.
Well, I also do want to point out at the beginning of AW Season 1, Optic was 2-1 or 3-1. They lost one of their first 3 matches.
Yeah, they lost 4
matches. So they can still go on the tear that they did last season.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the fact that they lost to FaZe Red right at the beginning of the season. Obviously they had Hugh. Which Hugh is just an absolute god.
I'm waiting for someone to just pick up Hugh. Like, you're on my team.
He would
Final
be
boss,
he'll
come
be
back. Hugh
will be a major player after champs. He'll be one of the biggest players in the scene after champs, I guarantee. And then he'll become irrelevant next champs, which sucks.
Well, not irrelevant.
Well,
he'll be where he's at now.
Yeah.
Hugh, an amazing player. TJ, like we said, subbing for Elevate at the moment. Accuracy, I don't believe he has a team, or he's not subbing with a team at the moment. And I haven't seen anything from Happy either. So that's obviously the old Aware team that was that roster that was supposed to be in Season 2. However, like we said earlier, TCM came and was able to buy out that spot. But I believe we're heading into our last topic of the night. I think after this, we might go and ask some questions from the chat, possibly. I don't know if we'll do that or not. Depends. But week 2, we're heading into week 2. We just ended week 1 of the Season 2 MLG Pro League. And what did you say? There's supposed to be 4 matches every day? I believe you said.
And I'm actually waiting for. Oh, okay, there we go. I was waiting for my screenshot to work, so I'm bringing the schedule up on screen so that everyone can see it. And there we go. So there's the schedule right below us, right down there for the next week. There's only 4 matches every day, which for me, as a live tweeter, as a live coverage person, that makes my job so much easier. I'm so happy. But it's only going to be like this for this week, and I don't know why they're doing it this week. But yeah, so I guess they're gonna let champs teams practice as much as they can while still having pro league matches. I don't know what the whole idea behind it is, but I like it. And out of all these matches, this was my main question to you, Landon. What match are you going to be looking forward to the most next week?
I actually have the weekly schedule up. I'm looking at every single day. I'm seeing a lot of TCM. TCM actually plays ON and OG to start off. I'm really looking forward to...
Their first night is not an easy night in the MLG Pro League. I would expect TCM to honestly, well, obviously with the sleep deprivation, just moving in, I can see them going 0-2 very easily on the night, but...
I'm interested to see how that first game against ON will go. That's one that I'm really excited about. OG will actually play them twice in this week. They'll be playing them on the 16th as their last game, and also in the 18th they're also playing them again. So those 2 matches I'm definitely looking forward to. To be honest, I'm just looking forward to see TCM play.
Definitely.
So ON versus TCM, OG versus TCM twice is definitely something I'm looking forward to. Along with that, I'm seeing TCM versus Prof. I think that's, to me, 2 teams that possibly could be similar. Just looking at it, Prof, a good team. TCM, I don't know. That game just stood out to me as well. Obviously, OG plays TCM again. As well as that. FaZe versus Envy, I'm looking forward to that on the 19th. That'll be on Friday.
Yeah, that's the last match on Thursday.
Actually, no, that's on Thursday. That's Thursday. So That's gonna be a good game. So those are the games to me that I'm really looking forward to. To be honest, it's just TCM. It's a new team. It's a new team that I'm excited to see. It's a EU team that's never been seen before or heard of.
And they do have
no one would have ever imagined that.
But they do have a really rough schedule this first week.
They do.
Very rough. As Kingdom said in the chat, they could easily be 1-5 after this week. Personally, the match that I'm looking forward to the most is the second meeting between OG and TCM on Wednesday, which is the 18th. Because like TCM, I'm not looking forward to the first night. Well, obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing how they play, how they're.
I just can't imagine the hate that they're gonna get. I hate it, but they're gonna be like, "Wow, these guys came over to the NA and they're just they go 1-2 in the first night." Like, we're gonna see a bunch of hate.
I'm excited to see their second match against OG because they'll get adjusted to the time a little bit. They'll get their boots on the ground. It will be their fourth match in the Pro League, and I want to see what they can do against Optic Gaming, the best team in the game. So,
for sure. Right. It's gonna be a rough one, but it's gonna be good for them though. They're gonna have to get used to, getting better. And if you're playing the best team in the game, no offense, no one can argue that the best team in the game. The only way you get better is by playing people that are better than you. So obviously, it's gonna be good practice for them. They're obviously in a team house. Not saying, like I said, that could regard a couple things that we see. But regardless, I'm really excited to see TCM. That's I think everyone's excitement coming into this next week of week 2. And yeah, so I think that's all the little topics that we have for tonight, I believe.
Yep. Also, I want to let's just predict the first 2 nights because there's only 8 matches the first 2 nights. Let's go through and let's predict the first 2 nights. So OG versus TK is going to be the first match. TK, Optics winning that one. I'm sorry. Especially if Looney cannot play. Looney's been having issues playing. He's been getting. I don't know if he's getting hit off or his internet just sucks where he lives. But he's not at the team house. He needs to move back to the team house is the issue. But they've been playing with Neslo for every match. And if TK has Looney, they might be able to win or to take a map off Optic, but Optic's going to win.
Neslo's a good player. I think they went 2-0 when
Neslo
using
is a very good player, yeah.
But still, obviously Neslo on SB, but
he's not their roster. It's not their roster.
So. That's true though. Yeah, TK a very very strong team. So I personally have OG beating TK. I think the TK will be able to hold up a little bit of a fight, but with maybe not having Looney and also not being in a team house, might play a factor. So I'm going to say OG wins that game. Okay. IMO.
Next up, ON and TCM. For TCM's first game in actually is ON's going to be on West Coast. Have the TCM players ever experienced playing from East Coast to West Coast in the United States? Because that's not fun. Sorry. Have the TCM European players, because I don't know how the connection is over in Europe. Obviously, don't live there, but the UK players don't. I assume they normally just play the UK, and they might play some of the French teams. I don't know how they scrim over there, but I don't know if they've ever had to deal with playing from East Coast to West Coast. Because isn't ON a primarily West Coast team besides Killa and Mir?
Yes, yeah. TP and Karma live very, very close to each other. I think they live like 30 minutes away from each other. So, but yeah, looking overall at the game, TCM's first game, their first game in the league, they're going to be nervous, regardless of what people think. They're going to be nervous. I think ON's going to win that. I think ON's a good team, especially with their last performance at the last LAN. I mean, you could argue some things went in their favor, but I think ON's a really good team. Online in the past, they haven't been very good. Obviously, I believe, weren't they last in the in Season 1?
They were Season
overall?
1, and so far in the MLG COD League, the first night that they played, they went 2-0, and the second night they went 0-2. So
okay, well, inconsistency already, but I'm gonna say ON wins that over TCM. I think I have no idea what to expect from TCM.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at what I've seen from ON, and just regarding the nerves, I'm sure that they're gonna be nervous. That's gonna be a game that's gonna be showed probably on Alpha. I think they might even show that game maybe over Optic if they decide.
You mean on ESR?
Yeah, on the ESR. Like they're gonna be. Everyone's
they're definitely going to promote TCM coming over here and playing against the US teams. Yeah. They're definitely going to show that game on ESR.
And something to point out, Optic plays in every single game on the 16th. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. What did Kingdom say? He's gonna 1v1 me on the STiKS Monday.
Yeah, apparently on Monday, Kingdom is gonna.
You don't want these hands, Kingdom. You don't want these hands, man.
I also do want to point out that that the first match that Nation lost yesterday on Thursday, he has a scuff, you don't. So rip. But that went to map 5 also against Prof. So. Okay. And then I remember watching the Denial ON match. That was not pretty. But the first match that they played against Prof went to last map. So next up is going to be TK versus ON. Oh man, that's a fun one to predict. It really depends on who shows up that day. Like if Nation wins against TCM, Nation's going to win against TK, in my opinion.
I agree. I don't think OG is going to be able to beat... I think OG will take out TK no matter what. I think it's going to decide on how ON plays against TCM and how that's going to work. I think ON will beat TCM. I'm going to say TK. I'm going to say TK.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just am. I think ON... I don't know. And then I think we might see a shock from TCM. That might shock ON a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And then I think we already covered the TCM OG, which was going to OG definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
3-0.
Next day we're just gonna go over the next predictions for March 17th. I think it says it's really small on my screen. So and then we're going to kind of wrap things up. But I saw my phone, Kingdom. I got the intel. Okay. Now chat can be jealous that I have Kingdom's phone number and you don't. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, ON versus Envy. Wow. ON versus
Ego.
Envy. First day of the...
Looking at Envy's record, I'm going to say ON wins.
Envy could be 1-6.
That's going to be terrible if they start off that way. And I think they'll beat Rise, which is not what we're talking about. That's one of the last games. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I like having 4 games. It's way easier, in my opinion. But ON versus Envy, I'm going to take ON. It's really regards how they do to me on the first day, but we've seen them be, like Goalie said, 2-0 and then 0-2. So I don't really know what to say. I think they'll go 1-1 on March 16th, which is Monday. And versus Envy, I'm going to say the ON wins. I think Envy will be 1-6 after that game. Hate to say it.
I don't want to see Envy 1-6, but yeah, if ON does good Monday, it's going to go to ON definitely. So I'm just gonna say ON, and we'll sadly see Envy climb down to 1v6. 1-6. They'll make a noble comeback. They'll make the 0-8, except it will be 1-8, and they'll make the comeback. I believe. Next is gonna be Rise versus Justice. Justice actually played well today, from what I saw. Rise struggled. They got 3-0'd both maps that they played. But Rise played really good the first night. It's really, I don't know. It's online COD. It's weird. It depends on who has host. There's a lot of factors. It's just, it doesn't make sense. And that's just how online Call of Duty is. So I think
I like Justice. I'll let you finish. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Okay. And Justice also beat Rise today. 3-0.
Did they?
So,
okay, that's
yes.
Good.
So I'm going to say Justice over Rise.
I'm going to agree. I was going to say I like Justice. I'm just not a big fan of the roster. But like we said, they're going to be playing with each other a lot. And obviously after today's performance, or after them already playing against each other, I'm going to pick Justice as well.
Okay. Now, next up, in my opinion, this will probably be the match of the night. Justice versus ON. And,
I think ON versus Envy will technically be the match of the night, but I think the most intense game will be this one.
Yeah, this will be the most intense game, definitely. Justice versus ON. Really depends on how both these teams play. I'm gonna say Justice because I like Big Snacks. I like his squad.
And I saw someone mention in the chat really quick.
What is Justice's roster?
Yeah, Justice's roster is Methods, TCM, Octane, and Lawless. TCM, a player, not the
and I'm linking the CODpedia team rosters in the chat also.
Clutch.
So we have all the players' rosters on there. Our page on Octane is pretty crappy right now. I haven't had time to
But Justice is playing with Sender.
But Justice
Sender's very good.
Yes, Justice was playing with Sender today. So it really depends on...
But it's a new week. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And then Envy versus Rise. So I had Rise losing to Justice in the first game. So I'm going to give this one to Envy.
I am too.
I'm going to give this one to Envy, but yeah.
You might be
I have no reason to. I have no reason to give it to Envy. I just want to see Envy win this. I really want to see Envy win it. So
right. And someone mentioned what time are the games at? 7 Eastern are the first 2 games, and the last 2 games are supposed to start at what? 8:30?
8:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. But they usually start early because the games don't go for an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, it really depends on when the pros actually get their butts moving and get into the matches. Because some days they will start at 7 on the dot. And sometimes you're just sitting there like...
Did you die?
Pretty sure I did.
Okay. Well, I heard you go. No, I didn't know what happened after that.
But yeah, some days you're just sitting there for like half an hour and you're like, come on, FaZe, let's go. It was like last season it was always Rise that was the last. They were always late. They always were late every single match. But that's just how it works.
Trying to ice out the other team.
Trying to ice the other team. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. I don't know, Landon, do you have anything else to talk about?
Not really. No, I think last thing, I saw Kingdom just mention in the chat, MV roster change incoming post champs. I think regarding the league, this last what? How many is this the last week of matches before?
Yes, this is the last week of matches. So week 2 is the last week of matches, and then we get a 1-week break before champs.
Right.
And
so this week to me is a make it or break it for a lot of these teams. If they like, for instance, morale after this week for whatever team is going to be huge. You know, if for instance, let's just say Owen's really excited after winning all their matches this week. You know, that might play in a role for how they decide rosters. You know, Kill's been playing super well in this last week as well as the week before. You know, maybe we should keep Kill, which I'm not saying they're getting rid of Kill. I don't know anything, but just pointing out small things like Envy, for instance. You know, if Envy maybe turns it up, that might give them a little bit of hope. You know, we can maybe work with this team, but if they're 2-8 at the end of this week,
yeah.
There's something that there's a change that has to be made. But
if
like
Envy
I said,
is
this week is crucial.
Going into champs. Well,
rough.
No one expected Envy to do well at last champs either. But this champs, the chemistry just like this year, the chemistry just looks off. I don't think unless Envy can just click a switch, I don't think Envy's going to make the run that they have the last 2 years.
So champs going to be huge for a lot of these teams. Obviously, placing for champs is going to be huge. But looking at how people are doing in the league, which is after that, I think is going to play a big role. So this last week before champs is going to be a big one for sure. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it for tonight's pilot episode of the MLG Pro League weekly recap.
You made it sound good. You actually made it sound professional. I like it. So once again, guys, thank you for coming out to the show today. Really appreciate it on behalf of myself and Landon. Gonna give Landon and myself 30 seconds or less to say whatever the heck we want, to say stupid stuff at Kingdom. And yeah, so Landon, take it away.
All right, guys, it's been your dude, your bro, your pal, your best friend, your ally on the internet, Mr. Landon. I know I just call myself Mr., but regardless, thank you guys for coming to the stream. I really, really appreciate it. Shout out to all the sponsors I don't have yet, as well as that. I want to appreciate, like I said, everyone for coming to the stream. It's been really awesome being here, and I'm really excited to keep these shows going along with the league. Thank you, Kingdom, for having us on. I mean, kind of on the show. It's your channel, regardless. And thank you, Goalie, for hosting as well as producing the show. So I want to give a shout out to all you guys as well. And yeah, that's really about it.
It makes me jealous every time because you have you just have this like in your head ready to go. When I'm doing my stream, it's like I'm tired. We'll just end the stream. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. And it's like I kind of have a thing in my head, but it's like at the same time you have it already in your head from all your casting and all that, so you can go. Oh well. I just probably used up my 30 seconds, but
oh, you're done. All right, bye.
I'm done. Bye, guys. thank you guys for coming out to the show tonight once again. My name is Goalie. Otherwise, you can call me Matt. Name's Matthew on Twitter. So, yeah. As soon as the stream's over, I'm actually going to go start up my stream. Actually, it's probably going to be about a half an hour by the time I actually get everything running. But we're going to be streaming over at my my channel at twitch.tv/goalietv. Going to be going for a couple hours. And then have a good night. Just have a good time. Don't get drunk. Don't do anything stupid. And just... oh, announcement. Sorry, we have an announcement. Intel. Yeah, we have an announcement. I forgot.
I didn't know this. All right, have fun.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the interwebs.
Please tell me you have music.
Oh man. Nope, I don't. Okay.
Darn
Rip. Rip. Have an announcement. We have the 1v1. We're gonna actually have Ron the Don from the cast off. He's going to be our guest for Monday's show on the normal STiKS. So I assume you're going to be on that, Landon. I'm not sure because it sounds like Fatty's not going to be able to be on the show anymore because of work constraints. But we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we can keep having him on the show. I love Fatty. But so, yeah, it looks like we're going to have Ron the Don on Monday. And apparently there is going to be a 1v1 between Kingdom and Landon. And that is going to be streamed. And Ron the Don is going to cast it. So
hey, I'm up for it. I'm down. Okay, he says ASM once. I do not want to just use ASM once. I have to use my bow. Is that allowed?
You just practice your ASM 1. Okay, we'll play rank tonight. Just unlock all your attachments on your ASM 1. Okay.
All right. I need to do that actually.
Okay, guys. Thank you once again for coming out to the show. We're planning on doing another one next Friday. It will actually be a lot easier to do. It will probably be a lot earlier in the day, too, because there's going to be no Friday matches next week. So probably around 5:30, 6, 7 Eastern or Central time. We'll see. We'll see. We'll confirm with you guys on Twitter, and we'll actually do proper promotion for the show, too, next week. But thank you guys for coming out. Love you. Appreciate you all. My name's Goalie. This has been Landon, beautiful man. And we're signing off. Have a good night, everyone. Deuces. I just did a Grizz outro. Rip.